You guys like that hair? Just woke up. And I'm sick, but we're powering through this because I want to show you guys the best way to get Battle Pass XP from Save the World, because that's the game I play. You can tell by me being level 1. I don't play a ton of BR, but we have a lot of XP to get through to finish out the Battle Pass and the bonus rewards. Last season it was like level 200 or something, and I don't even know what it is this time because I always tend to max out just playing Save the World. And here's kind of how to do that. When you finish missions in this game, you get Battle Pass XP as a reward. And also, when you do quests, like your daily quests, everybody can do these, by the way. As a founder, I get V-Bucks. That is not a pack that's available anymore. They discontinued that in like 2020, but every single player can still get Battle Pass XP from your daily quests. I believe pretty much every quest in the game, every repeatable quest at least has, some sort of Battle Pass XP reward. You could do your dungeon daily for some extra Battle Pass XP, and every single mission you play will give you Battle Pass XP at the end of the mission. And that is not dependent on power levels. So everything I'm going to mention in this entire video applies to every player. If you're somebody who just got Save the World and you're power level 15, this is still going to give you plenty of XP. And on that note, you might want to check out my ultimate guide. I don't know why it's loading twice, but this will be linked in the description down below. It's 30 minutes packed full of all the information and all of the references you could possibly need to learn everything that you want to know about this game. That is a really, really good guide and resource, but just wanted to say, every single mission gives you Battle Pass XP, and that is capped. Let me just show the spreadsheet real quick here at 320,000 Battle Pass XP every single day, and the quest XP has no cap. So I'm going to show you guys the best missions to run if you specifically want Battle Pass XP. However, kind of a disclaimer, as somebody who runs, the high level missions just pretty casually, you only need 10 of these a week, and I've done this on stream where if you're just doing 10 of these missions, or, that's easy for me. So just any mission that you find enjoyable for a couple of hours, or if you're somebody going through the Ventures grind, which if you're a new player, that's a really good thing to be doing because Ventures gives you lots of useful rewards like schematic XP and stuff you might not have as an early game player, and it won't consume your regular materials because Ventures has a separate inventory. If you're just going through that Ventures grind, you're going to get enough XP to cap out without even trying. However, if you are specifically just trying to play the game as quickly as possible for the day, this is the most XP per minute that you can get, and this spreadsheet sort of breaks it down. It'll be linked down below. Huge thank you to Archer. A few seasons ago, he just started taking the data and putting it into the spreadsheet before I even wake up. I only asked him to do it once, and I think he just likes doing it. I really appreciate it because the JSON file that has the XP values is like 3,000 lines long, and it's, I don't know. He does better with that information than I do, and he's really, really, really helpful. I appreciate it. So what this spreadsheet has are a list of notable missions. This is not every mission in the game, but with the first season, we listed every mission that made sense, and I must say that the XP amount does change every season. That's why this is like the 10th version of this video. I also want to say that XP amount scales to the length of the season. A lot of people make pretty pointless comments, about whether the XP went up or down from one season to the next. In general, the XP scales to like usually 4 levels of BR a day, maybe it's 8, it's something like that. But my point is simple, that they don't want people to just play Save the World and finish the Battle Pass in one day. So there's kind of like a hard limit. And the exact amount of levels you get per day doesn't really matter. My point is they just want to throttle Save the World players because it makes sense. You don't want to just hit that Battle Pass XP level 100 in a day, which would be really easy with Save the World because the XP it's quickly generated. But what this breaks down is how much XP you get for a successful completion of said mission, and then XP bonuses can be anything. For the crypts, as you can see, the second best mission per minute, every single bonus is like floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, and then like the little boss fight at the end, that's Vlad. And then the badges are sort of what you'd be expected to get. I don't remember them off the top of my head. I'm sick, and it kind of doesn't matter because it's just like combat, utility, exploring the whole map, and crafting, something like that. Regardless, these things just kind of happen as you play, and we've approximated which badges you would be getting. Like in Storm King, I don't think you can get any of those badges. In Endurance, you can't get any of those badges. 5,600, though, is the max in like Ride the Lightning. We expect you to be exploring the full map if you're getting XP, which is pretty easy to do. Especially, like I said, power level doesn't matter. So as a max level player, I could just back it up. Let's see, go all the way to Stonewood here, find the easiest ride the lightning I can, power level 3. It doesn't get easier than that. I could slap down a constructor base here. A lot of people always ask me for constructor loadouts. You're welcome to steal this, by the way. This is just, it does not need to be mega base, by the way. I know he's mythic. Everybody in the game gets base Kyle. It does not need to be legendary either. He just makes your build stronger, and I recommend having him because he's super useful. Supercharged traps comes from mega base. You don't even need that. This is like a nice little constructor guide I'm going to give here real quick, because recycling is default. I think everybody gets this, and you just get your builds back, which is super convenient. And then the support barely matters. What we're focusing on are like Thunder Thora. She's an event hero. You might not have her. It's also not entirely necessary. But what I'm looking at are just things that damage enemies. So Electropulse Penny is also a fantastic pick. She's a base game hero who's available in regular missions often enough. I cover the regular missions every... Oh, I don't know why that's going to my top monitor. Come on. I cover the missions every single day, which is something that I am very thorough on. And usually Electropulse Penny is in here somewhere. If actually I sort by heroes, we don't have her today, unfortunately, but we have had her in the past, and I cover those every day. And Fortnite DB tells you. So she makes it so that when enemies smack your base, they take damage. My point is, if a high enough level player puts down a base that does any amount of damage to the enemies, or is just strong enough to weather it, you can just run around, search the entire map, go kill enough enemies to get the combat badge. You could just break trees, craft stuff or whatever, and you'll get those badges. Speedrun bonus is obviously if you're just going quick enough, and then this is the total XP, and then I have approximated how long it takes to complete these. Now, I have a slight bias. I've played this game a little bit, so for me, any mission can go as fast as possible. If you're just starting this with no experience, you're going to struggle a little bit, but that, let's see here, that Ride the Lightning example I had, that is about a 7-minute defense. You have a 3-minute defense at the start, or is it 4? Whatever. The second one is the opposite. It's either 3 or 4. So I think it's 3 and then a 4-minute defense. It's 2 stages. And if you find it quickly, it can take you a minute. However, Ride the Lightning, it can be tough. I myself have filled in 99% of a map, and my teammates are like, where is this van? Sometimes it's in the corner of the map. It hides from you. Even though we checked the corner, we still missed it. So 8 minutes is generous, but you know, you can make, if you just do file, make a copy, you could just edit this. If you really want to get serious about how much, you know, XP you're getting, say you take 3 minutes to get the defense started, you can see how those new values shake up. So I think 8 minutes is fair enough, and all of these are just approximations, and you can see the number one at the top is encampments. Now, that 5 minutes to complete is very important on the power level, because a level 140 encampment, I'm not getting through that in 5 minutes. It's going to take 10 minutes just because enemies are healthier. You can kill them, but they don't go down that easy. So I am going to be linking this video down below. I made an entire video showing you how to speedrun encampments. You can see the low power level mission. Teddy is an excellent resource for this. In my history as a YouTuber, I have said a lot of negative things about Teddy. This is just my perspective as an endgame player. Teddy is not an ability that is going to carry you through the entire game, but lately I've backed up a little bit and appreciated the fact that Teddy will get you through 90% of ventures and 80% of the main game, and so especially for this activity, there's no better than just throwing a Teddy down and a drone and having teammates, especially because all of you can get that XP. It's shared. Look at the way that Teddy and drones just deletes everything. So I have an entire video on that. It talks about what I'm talking about right here. It shows you various loadouts that can work that aren't Teddy. This is a whole Teddy guide. I'll be linking this down below if you guys want to learn all the things. And then there are some more normal ways to get XP. Like I said in the beginning, even if you're not trying to farm it, category 4, you know, fight the storm missions, you don't really need to be going quickly. This is obviously a big late game defense. This is actually a guide on how to trap these missions, and I'm going to be linking this and the trap guide playlist down below, because this is a really good resource showing you how to trap a lot of the common mission types. This also applies to endurance and your storm shield defenses. I get asked about storm shield defenses all the time. If you know generally how to trap and defend missions, and you've learned from these guides, you can apply that to your storm shield. There's no harm in failing a mission and just retrying. You know, it doesn't even use the durability nowadays. If you place all of your traps in a storm shield or endurance, then hit play, I'm pretty sure it just stays full after that's done. It's pretty cool. And then if you just continue down, you got Crypts in the lab. So they might have nerfed Inferno specifically. I don't know why it got hit like that, but I do have a very popular video that's just dungeon speedrunning, 97,000 views, because it's a really, really good resource. We just picked Inferno because that's what Evo here knew best, and he taught me that very thoroughly. We spent a couple weeks prepping this video, and I love this. This is a video of me showing a video. It's a video of me showing a video. But yeah, anyway, this is a really, really good guide on speedrunning Inferno. And while it does not give you the most XP, you can see it's kind of low on the list here. Dungeons gives you so much. Like I said, the dungeon daily gives you battle pass XP, but all of these quests, I've done a lot of them by now, are really good for tickets and gold. You can get 20,000 plus tickets, and even if you don't like the lunar items, you can still recycle them. It's a great source of training manuals, weapon designs, trap designs. You can just put all of it in the collection book, and there are tons of collection book rewards as you level up your collection book. I mean, look at this. I got a mythic lead just waiting here. That doesn't usually happen until, like, I think 600 in the collection book, but still, you're getting a low amount of XP. But, you know, reperk and perk up and legendary flux. There's a lot of legendary flux available in the collection book. So even if you don't want the lunar items, recycle them. It's still worth it to crack open the llamas. And then beyond that, you're getting gold as well. That's a really, really good source of gold. And dungeon speedrunning, I think Inferno, at least with my guide, you can get a couple thousand gold per hour, which is really great. And of course, you're going to be maxing out your battle pass XP very easily. And that also applies to crypts. My guide is on Inferno. That's just what I know. But if you play the crypts, you'll get everything I just talked about, and the dungeon quests will have you playing each of them anyway. Lab is great because Lab gets you a Chaos Agent. This is just going to be a catch-all video, a little tip for everything, but if you have not played any dungeons whatsoever, run the crypts one time and then go and run the Lab. In fact, I don't remember if I actually did the quest for this, but yeah, you can see once you unlock the Lab, I think you run it once after you unlock it, and then you get like 2 more runs for Chaos Agent. I don't remember exactly how it works because honestly, I just do the quests in every season. I don't need to look at them because everything gets done, so I forget these basic things, but you know, you get the idea. And then there's more. So MSK is pretty high up on here. Well, I guess it's middle of the pack, but you should normally be fighting Storm King anyway. And this is not MSK, by the way, for that 3-minute completion time. I want to say I do have a video on how to beat the Mythic Storm King. That's going to be linked down below as well. But what we're referring to in this is actually Canny Valley. So if you're a high-level player, I have personally struggled on the Canny Storm King fight. I'm not belittling new players. I know how hard this fight can be when you're like 10 levels under. But once you've got the experience of an endgame player, this is a 3-minute fight. It is not. Once you've got leveled up weapons and you have a high power level and a lot of experience, Canny fight's a breeze. And we suspect you can do this in about 3 minutes. And none of this is accounting for load times, by the way. PC players will be able to get out of a mission and back in very quickly, and console players might struggle with that. Your internet will vary, but 3 minutes is about how long the fight should take. Loading in and out, your mileage will vary. So yeah, super useful resource. You know, the season goes on for a little bit. It's going to be ending in mid-May. You can see dungeons should still be around, and Survive the Horde will be hopefully coming back around. Survive the Horde definitely got some tweaks, so that'll be fun to play, even if it's, as you can see here, Survive the Horde, not exactly the best use of your time, but yeah. And I kind of touched on Endurance earlier. I forgot to mention that Wave 30 does almost hit your XP cap, and even though this is the lowest per minute, you should never be physically sitting there doing Endurance waiting for it to finish. That will not be worth your time. I understand a lot of people do have AFK endurances, and if you want to just run that while you sleep, go to work or school or whatever, come home and have your quest XP mostly done, I understand. That's not my way of playing. I don't have videos on that. I don't encourage that behavior because I don't think you need it, honestly. I just play, honestly, pretty casually for an endgame player, and I get everything I need. It's just, you know, brute force. But if you like to AFK it, I don't blame you at all. I totally understand why you do it, and that works great. Hit the Road is funny because it's on here, but I don't think Hit the Road will be actually yeah, it won't even be out before this season ends, but it's still on there for future seasons. All right, long one, elaborated a lot today, but you know, I like to just dump information. I tried to include some gameplay in here. Let me know how I did, because I understand that staring at a spreadsheet is not the most entertaining way to deliver information, but still wanted to get my points across. So all right, subscribe if you're new. It's all I got. Enjoy getting battle pass XP and save the world. It's pretty easy. You don't really need to grind it, but you'll no doubt have a good time doing it, because save the world's fun. You know, it really is. People complain in the end game, but they only complain because they had so much fun that now they're bored and they get mad. So it's a good game, so enjoy.